Hi there, and welcome to this week's Owl Diary. Hello there, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're well. My name's Ryan, I'm the head falconer here at Owl Adventures, and right now we're having some hawk adventures as I'm preparing for the first flying show we've actually done in over a year now. In fact, really the last one we did properly, a proper flying show rather than a little display of some sort or a flying experience, was in fact towards the end of 2019. We had shows obviously planned for 2020, and just before they were about to begin, of course, we had the lockdown and then it all stopped. So our first show is taking place. And next week's Owl Diary will be a Driffield show special, as we're doing flying shows there, lovely big arena, so we're looking forward to it. So we have got a few different birds ready for it. The barn owl, you may have seen, Bailey's going to do a lovely flying display. We've got Ollie and Henrietta, our eagle owls, going to be doing some flying for us as well. And today I'm just flying the hawks like we do on a regular basis. And you saw at the beginning there the hawk helmet. I'll come on to that in a moment, what that's all about. In fact, I can see one of them down there now on the helmet. There's no food on it, but he's investigating just to check and see if there is. So we're flying the birds today because obviously fitness training is very important. And we want to make sure they're going to fly really well in the displays at good speed and good agility and good stamina as well. So I'm looking around because one of them's down here. It doesn't get anything on the floor. So I'm just going to do that. That means you don't get any food. You need to fly up to a tree, please, Jed. Yeah, you know the rules. And the other one is somewhere up the trees, but I don't know where. Now, if I offer food right now, Jed here will come and grab it off me, which is not allowed because he's on the floor. He is trained that he only gets food when he's up high somewhere. And off he goes. So what we can now do is offer him a piece of chicken like so. Oh no, the other one's coming in. And there's a roll them for you. So yes, flying them together because this is something we'll be doing in the shows, because Harris hawks in the wild, in the deserts of America and in South America, do actually hunt together in the wild naturally. But of course they work together in the wild, whereas the hawks today are simply going to just fly together at the same time, but luckily for me, not work together. That could prove very difficult should they wish to do that. Now I'm currently in the woods here, which is ideal for hawk flying, but the thing is today we have got this weekend one mighty heat wave going on with top temperatures of 30 degrees up here in North Yorkshire. So in the trees here, close to where the birds live, it is nice and shady, and that makes it much easier to deal with. So we've actually got Ellie today in York at our display with just 4 birds, none of the Arctic type species, but just desert species and things like the barn owl that are okay in warmer weather. Under a gazebo and under a tree, full shade all day with water bowls and a spray bottle should they get a little bit warm. And she knows that if the birds start to get too warm and flustered, she'll pack up and come back in her lovely air-conditioned vehicle. If it was just not possible to have the birds out on display, then we just wouldn't bother. We wouldn't do it for their own safety. All the birds in the aviaries this morning who are having their day off have had water. The hawks will have a big bath of water this afternoon, and some of them have already jumped in and had a splash about and cool off. And we've also got the spray and put that onto the mist and sprayed some mist over there as well. So they're absolutely fine. They're in the shade, they've got plenty of water, and they're going to have a nice easy day. But of course, even though birds of prey like sunshine, it provides them with vitamin D, and our Harris hawks here, because they're a desert bird, love the sunshine. It's still really important to be careful with them in this hot weather. Just like a dog, birds would die in a hot car. Birds will die if left out in the heat for a long time. So it's really important that we monitor that and we're careful, and anything that keeps us cool will keep the birds cool as well. So these birds have been flying, and like I say, we have got the hawk helmet, and it's just down here on the floor. Now the helmet is a cricket helmet, so it's adapted with a lure on the top there. And as you can see, even with no food on it, after not actually doing this hawk helmet stuff for a while, Jed here, just checking it was Jed, has already landed on the helmet there. So in next week's video, take a look at what we do at the Driffield show, because this is used for volunteers. We put this on a volunteer's head and we say run, and they challenge us to run as quickly as they can before the hawk lands on their head. It is really exciting stuff. So we're birds ready. The birds are flying fit and flying ready as the So the hawks are flying well, The owls were flying already. Bird ready, essentially. We are ready to go with the birds. So what else do we need to prepare? Well, there's all the equipment to take. I'll make sure that's all in working order, clean and ready to go. And the only other thing I need to work on is the music for the shows. So I'm here in my kitchen with me MacBook, and I shall explain, this is Cubase software. In my spare time, I like to dabble in a bit of music production and such, just the odd spare couple of minutes here and there. And so I've been using my knowledge and skills there to edit music for the flying shows. So we have had flying shows with music now for about 3 or 4 years, and it really does enhance what people are seeing. It adds extra atmosphere and mood. And this music I've got is some new music for this year's shows, which I've downloaded. It's copyright-free music, and it gives a real, almost cinematic sort of sound. So if you have a little listen to a bit of it, and this is part of the Falcon flight and intermitting into the Hawks or whatever, and you'll hear how I've edited it in certain ways. I can change it as I need to suit whatever's happening in the show. So we even have certain bits of action in the show where birds do particular flights, and certain bits of music come on in those moments. A bit like that. So it really does that effect. And when we're there doing the shows and we make the announcement to say, ladies and gentlemen, a Bird of Prey show will begin in 2 minutes, and we put the music on, you can see people looking around and thinking, oh, this is a bit different, this is exciting. So it really is actually quite an important part of the overall show, and the theatrics that I put into it is to have that music. So looking forward to playing around with this music at the Driffield show this week to see exactly what kind of response that gets. Anyway, enjoy the rest of this week's Owl Diary. Well, it's another day and another event, and it's a school visit. I'm in the field at the moment. The field looks a little bit like this. It's lovely. Here in North Yorkshire, though just bordering on the edge of West Yorkshire, I do believe. And this is the last school visit before September comes along. So the summer holidays are essentially about to begin. So yes, we've got 2 sessions this morning, and included in the bird mix are some exotic animals, and I've got this particular snake here. Here I am doing a bit of one-handed handling. So we've got one of our corn snakes here. This one is called Whatsit. Yes, we have Whatsit, we have a Tango as well. So named after food products which are rather red, you could say. Corn snakes, American species, mostly eastern, and farmers love them because they eat the mice that eat the corn, of course. So we'll be doing some handling with this particular snake. You can see he's climbing all over me here. And it's great to take different exotics along to schools. It's really very important because education, of course, is one of the key elements of what we do. It's our ethos, if you like. Not just educating the customers who come along to our displays, so we have young and old, but also children, and children are very important, of course. They understand nature, they understand the ecosystem, even in its basic form. And in these perilous times where we're seeing many wildlife massively reducing in number, it's really important that children do understand why animals are important and crucial as part of that ecosystem. So even the very young children, and today I'll have some very young children, if I can just see them about to come out, so I'll have to end this section in a moment. It's really important they understand the fundamentals. Yes, you can hear the teacher calling them. So, better get on with it. Last one of this particular academic year. So I'm back here in York, and it's another hot day. In fact, if you look at the weather forecast for the week, it's going to be a lovely, bright, sunny one. And of course, we've seen this heat wave here. We've seen the heat wave in America recently, and the unbelievable biblical flooding in Central Europe, like Germany, Belgium, and so on, where those streets just turned into rivers washing cars and in some cases buildings down the street. And I'm just going to say it very quickly, whatever the cause is, whether it's actually human activity or not, we do believe it is, it has to be climate change that's affecting it, that's making these things worse. But we're okay today. We're here in the shade. The birds are enjoying themselves. I did mention in the last video about the various things going on with the birds and the fact we're training them to fly and so on. And we've got Pebble here. A little update on Pebble. Can you look at the camera, please, Pebble? We've actually been doing some training with him, and let's just say it's going quite well. We've made some progress. I am working on a much more lengthy, detailed video on how we train a burrowing owl, and I'll give you a sneak peek clip here where you can see the progress of him flying to the hand. So we are getting somewhere with him, but it's a bit of an up and down thing. Sometimes he flies to the hand, no problem at all. Other times he just steals the food and disappears off into the wilderness. So we're just having to work on that one a little bit. The noise in the background you can hear is good old Jed, our 11-year-old Harris Hawk. Go on then, since you want to get some attention. You're going to say hi to everybody? No? Quick fun fact for you, birds rest when they stand on one leg, and it's often how they sleep as well. They stand on one leg and then swap over when they need to. Birds also will shut off half of their brain when they're asleep, leaving the other half on alert, keeping out a bit of a listen for any danger approaching. So there's the fun fact for this week's video. So I think I best do the falconry term of the week.
The falconry term of the week.
While the graphic was on, I ran over here to a much quieter part of the gardens. Oh look, an upside down tree. Anyway, this week's word, as the falconry term, is pitch or pitching, to pitch. And it's nothing to do with singing, la 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 la. That was rather high pitch. No, this is a term we use when we're flying something like a falcon. And it's meant to do a lovely big flight in one go. And if it decides to have a rest somewhere, lands on a building or in a tree, we call that pitching. Falcons should not pitch, no. When we are flying them, ideally they don't do that. And as I've mentioned in previous videos, you're flying a falcon, if it looks like it's going to land, if it looks like it's going to pitch, we'll then put the lure out for it to catch before it gets tired and lands there. Because when we're doing a show, the falcon should do one constant flight with a number of passes to the lure, 10, 15, 20 passes. How long do you want to take it? It depends on the stamina of the bird. And then in they come. So there you go, pitch is this week's falconry term of the week. Now, we are very excited about the next week or so coming up. The summer holidays, they're here already. They're already here. We have the Scottish on holiday coming along and doing flying experiences and things. And we have many weeks here in the Museum Gardens and other events and other places to do our bird exhibition work. So it's going to be pretty non-stop for a good 6, 7 or 8 weeks or so. It doesn't really stop when September comes. It does drift on quite a bit. And as I mentioned earlier, first flying show, proper flying show, not a flying display or flying demo, but a real flying show with music and theatrics and a big crowd next week at the Driffield Show. So next week's Owl Diary is going to be a Driffield Show special. Right, I'm going to get back to work now. Thank you for watching as always, and we'll see you next time for the next Owl Diary.